Welcome back. Now, the inaugural Global Muslim Content Summit held in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia united digital media creators from approximately 40 nations. The event focused on empowering attendees to reclaim Muslim narratives, tackle such things such as negative stereotypes, and produce authentic content rooted in Islamic values. Joining me now, he's no stranger to us here at Hilaal TV. Of course, you'll find him on his Mindscaped Podcast. It's none other than Nazeer Jamal. Nazeer, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran so much for joining us. You're telling me that this is even worse than Durban weather, if I stand to be corrected.
Alhamdulillah, in every situation. Yeah, it is a bit of a nice and humid. It's summer here. So the humidity levels are probably about 80-90%. So you're feeling at night, now it's sitting at about upwards 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And we're at 32 degrees. So nice and warm.
Yeah, no, definitely. Listen, if it's coming from a person from Durban, you best believe that's the case. Let's talk about this conference. I mean, you obviously have got Mindscaped Podcast, a podcaster. It's a lot of content that is now coming from this medium. How was this conference? How was it to meet up with different Muslim content creators from across the world?
Yeah, so my co-host and I, Shaheen Shah, have really was so excited when we got an email. It's from the host saying that we must attend. So I know Brother Malaz for many years, and when he messaged me to say this is something that he thinks is up our alley, we were really pleased to be invited to join and fly all the way here to Malaysia to meet the brothers. But I mean, it's an incredible, the journey, and the experience was something that I think was critical and should have been done many years ago. The social media industry is such a vital industry for not only the ummah but the entire world. I mean, everyone is using social media. Everyone has access to it. And so for having us as Muslims specifically to change the narrative, to own the narrative, to control the narrative, especially when it comes to issues of Gaza and Palestine and wars, also just the normal Muslim, Islamophobia, xenophobia, we need to become those who are able to control that narrative that's being shown on various forms. And Allah has blessed us with social media. Brother Sami Hamdi says that you must make dua for TikTok, because this is one of the avenues that has changed people's lives, changed perspective from how much of mainstream media that people will be listening to. Today, TikTok is that avenue that is changing that. Yes, there's ways that TikTok is used incorrectly, but it's really truly about how that medium that Allah has blessed us with, how it's being used. And this Content Creator Summit was truly a collaboration of so many artists, content creators who came together to share the vision that we have. And I think this is the greatest success of this, was that we were able to all find a united purpose and reinvigorate our true reason of why we're using these platforms and the purpose and value of these platforms.
There's something interesting, Nazeer, is that when we look at, of course, the genocide in Gaza since October the 7th, 2023, a lot of the more authentic news that we've been getting has come from journalists on the ground using their phones. And the phone, the power of that very same device, it's massive, isn't it? It gives you much more than probably you would have imagined 20 or 25 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's changed the game. It's changed the game. I feel sorry for journalists. Well, especially the old school ones. Yusuf Omar, his name was. He's an ex-South African now living in Australia. He runs Scene TV. He did a couple of presentations on how he uses mobile journalism as a tool of truly changing the narrative or presenting a true reality on the ground. And he's given, for example, phones to communities in I think it's India and other communities, and the kids, he taught them how to use it, how to do video, and they were telling their stories using their phones. And this was coming out at a time. I mean, he spoke to Bizan and many others that he's done a little documentary on, and those show the true realities on the ground by people just using their phone. No fancy cameras.
Okay, we seem to have lost Nazeer. We are going to try and get him back. Okay, we have Nazeer back. Nazeer, of course, we were talking about the beauty of the phone, but sometimes we must talk about the non-beauty of the lack of internet. But Nazeer, you were just continuing, and again, the power of the phone.
Yeah, so as I said, it's such a vital tool right now, especially to tell stories where access to expensive cameras and journalists are giving access. For example, Gaza is a great example, getting people into the land where they're being refused. Journalists are being refused by the Israeli government. So this is a critical, vital tool that can be used by the Ummah to ensure that these stories are told. And it also allows content creators from around the world, no matter the scale of income, to able to tell those stories and really be someone of influence. And that's what it really takes. I mean, Yusuf was an inspiration to so many because he showed the value of this tool and how easy it can be. I mean, and what I loved about this, what I truly, truly appreciate from the bottom of my heart, is the brothers One Path, Yusuf, and many of the presenters have done something that is not usually done. They shared their intellectual properties. They shared their intellectual protocols. They explained exactly what they do, how they edit, how they take an image, how they compose it, what's the storytelling. They're using ChatGPT to give them their, the details of how to write the script. All of this information was not just only shared, but given to us, given to every guest there to say, this is how we're doing it. This is how I got 100,000 views in 60 days. They had a guy called the White Muslim guy. He came, he explained, from a marketing perspective, he got a new channel that he opened from 0 to 100,000 followers in just 60 days. And this is how we did it. And so this was an incredible experience to have people and the kindness of their heart, the true ukhuwa, love for your brother, what you love for yourself, where they're sharing this kind of content and explanations.
Nazeer, of course, you've got the podcast. Podcasting is blowing. It's exploding to new levels we haven't seen at this moment. What did you learn from fellow podcasters in this conference that maybe you could take and you could try and improve in your very own, but also just how much this very same platform has exploded over the last 5 to 6 years?
Yeah, so from a technical point of view, I'm the bit of the technical guy. Shaheen is our brains behind it. I'm the technical guy. So a technical, I had 2 presentations where they actually showed how they edit the podcast, how they do, what camera equipment they're using, lighting, cameras, the details of the process that they use to actually get the clips from the long form to the short form, repurposing of the media. So all of that, they explained into details of the scripting process, how to get a 60-second video viral. I mean, these were the technicalities that they provided. On the other hand, they provided the real true kind of process of finding a guest, who the guest should be, the topic chosen, and then the content of the podcast. But what it really helped us with was truly identify our I would say natural positivities. And you know what that is? For us, it's about 40% of our viewership is not Muslim. And that's what we realize is one of our greatest values in that not only dawah, but a perspective of giving the stories that we're telling from, Gaza to Congo to Sudan, truly showing them a different perspective of what they normally see in mainstream media. And the podcasters that we were talking to said, guys, you guys have something we don't have. We have 90% Muslim. So what you have is something that's so vital, and we'd love to know how you guys did it. So we shared our strategies, they shared their strategies, and that seemed to be one of the greatest tools that we've, or other benefits of this conference.
Nazeer, one final question: traditional media, the way you and I are conversing now, of course, us being on the DSTV platform, is there still space for it, and how so? From the conference that you attended, of course.
So just repeat the question.
Yeah, I was just saying, Nazeer, the space that we are currently in, of course, traditional media, is there still a space for it, and how so?
Look, I mean, I still think there's a viewership in traditional media. I don't think it's completely gone, but I think what we need to realize is that there has to be a sort of a hybrid approach to things, especially in the Muslim community. We can't rely anymore on one form of media. You can't just go fully in social media. You can't go fully in traditional. There has to be a hybrid. So both have value, and I think the space that they both are in is somewhat different. So you'd have, depending on ages and locations, timing. There's even radio. We spoke about this many times. But I got a personal opinion. I still think TV and radio is kind of dead. But others have said, look, there's still value in it. There's British Muslim TV, there's Islam Channel, Iman Channel in the UK, you guys in South Africa, and so many others. So, I mean, it's still, you can't say that it's gone. I don't think that's a fair assessment. However, I do think that these channels need to start innovating, looking at other avenues. And look, and from a point of view of value, I think you'll definitely get value in both of these.
Nazeer, always a pleasure having you on. Get some cooling, because I know when you do arrive in Durban, I think you may even appreciate your own home weather as much as you would have wanted to be. Always a pleasure having you on, Nazeer. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Thank you so
barakatuh.
much. No problem.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
That's Nazeer Jamal, a podcaster on the Mindscaped Podcast, and of course a regular here with us at Hilaal TV. That's all we have for you here on News in Focus from myself, Hospital, and the rest of the team in Johannesburg. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.